Good morning. It's Dice back with some more Dragon Federation content. Um, there's a lot to go over, isn't there? I'm gonna try and stay on topic today. We know how hard that is for Dice, though. So, so let's dive into the topic a little bit about the Heart of Dragon Federation's mission, which is virtual pets, right? But I kind of want to make it a little more broad. So it sounds like Samson is going to be doing a lore and story this week, and that the topic is virtual companions versus like real pets. And it's amazing to have a pet and a real life companion, and the warmth of a dog's loyalty, independence of a cat, or even the vibrant personality of parrots. I've been very blessed in my life that I've been able to own many different types of pets, from snakes, owned a horse as a child, dogs, cats, ferrets, I've been incredibly blessed to own all kinds of animals with different and unique personalities, and the comfort and joy that their companionship can bring into our lives is just wonderful. It's unparalleled, right? So what if you could capture that same feeling, that same comfort and joy of pet ownership and make it incredibly adaptive to your lifestyle, right? And I say that because there's things like allergies that affect people's lives, rental restrictions, which is a huge reason that drew me to Dragon Federation. So if you don't know my story, I'll just do a quick preview with that, is that I met Samson at FanX in 2022. My special needs son had just lost his service dog. If you've ever paid for a service dog, or you've ever done your own training, you understand how many thousands of dollars that loses. And we had an incredibly unfortunate experience happen that, was incredibly hard. So my special needs son lost his seizure response dog, and he regressed. So my son has autism and epilepsy, and he regressed quite a bit. And at the same time all of this was happening, I went from being in a home and having a small house to having to re-enter the rental space, right? I had to become a renter again, and just navigating the difficulties. I get it. There's a whole lot that can be said about, yes, there are certain protections for service dogs, but there's also a whole bunch of hoops you have to jump through. And I was a single mom at the time, and I only had so many hours. And life is full of checks and balances of choosing where you have energy and applying it where you can and making life the best you can. And at that time, I couldn't put the effort into having a service dog after that financial loss that I went through, after my life upset and just a whole bunch of things, and I'm sure everyone has had similar experiences of just life losing control of certain aspects of their life, right? So we lost my son's service dog, and I came across Dragon Federation at FanX, and I really liked the opportunity that there could be a AI companion for my son that was specifically designed to act more like an animal and not a human, that could fill that niche, because we just lost a companion. Obviously, it wouldn't be able to alert me to seizures and other certain things like his canine had, or respond to them appropriately, but just that companionship that he had lost, I really wanted to find a replacement for that. So I bought my son a dragon egg, and then I bought myself a dragon egg. So Dragon Federation's virtual dragons are designed to provide a engaging, meaningful experience, bridging the world of fantasy with the qualities of a true companion. The virtual dragons are supposed to offer a unique companionship experience. And you see technology evolving, which means these dragons can evolve to make your virtual pet feel far more lifelike. We know that real pets enrich human lives, often becoming cherished members of families, but owning a pet isn't always possible for everyone. There are lifestyle limitations, allergies, or rental restrictions that can make it tough. And that's the beauty of a virtual companionship, is that we can use that to kind of, hopefully their goal is to bridge that gap, right? So their solution captures the joy of pet ownership while offering something unique. Their dragons are designed to grow and evolve alongside you. They hate using the word game because that doesn't quite fit. It's not a pet simulation. It has pet simulation aspects. It has multiplayer aspects. It has game-like mechanics in occasion, but really it's not a game. So they're very big on, this is an experience. This is an experience. And this experience is supposed to encourage you to nurture and connect with your dragon in meaningful ways. They want to offer the thrill of a virtual pet that feels incredibly, incredibly real, but without the demands or restrictions that often come with real-life pets. So what makes a virtual dragon stand out? Well, it's a dragon, right? So first off, there's no restrictions or barriers to pet ownership, barring like financial or technology restrictions. If you can't have allergies to a virtual dragon. If you do, that would be a very interesting situation. I'd love to hear about that in the comments. There's no real space restrictions, so it's not like a horse where you're told you have to have 5 acres of grazing land for it, right? So their dragons are designed to fit into your lifestyle, which makes it possible for anyone to experience the joys of a dragon wherever they are. These companions are travel friendly. I don't have to worry about finding a dragon sitter like I do with my dog, right? I have a German Shepherd currently. And if I leave for a week like I did this year, my husband and I left to go be in the cabin for a week this summer, and I had to find someone to dog sit my dog. I had to make sure that there was emergency vet contacts. I had to make sure there was someone there to feed it. With a virtual dragon, I can do that through my phone. I can, I don't need to find a sitter because I can feed my dragon. Well, I couldn't from the cabin. There was no internet, but you see what I'm saying? Like, so long as there's internet, so long as you have your technology, you don't have to find those things. Dragon Federation has talked about creating a system where you can hire like another player to be a sitter. They've talked about having a system where players will be able to visit each other's like dragon stables, right? And they'll be able to like feed the dragon for their friends and things like that. Well, those systems haven't been implemented yet. That would only be at the click of a button. So it's a lot more friendly and cost effective than having a real pet. So unlike real animals, your dragon's care schedule can adapt to you. You can feed, play, and interact when it's convenient for you. I'd argue that a lot of animals are that way already. Like, most animals don't die in 24 hours if you miss a meal. They don't die if they go without water for a few hours. They shouldn't, right? Hopefully we're all taking good care of our pets. But that's kind of the great part of the realism of Dragon Federation, is it's not like Tamagotchi where it had a set schedule, whereas these dragons are supposed to react to our schedules, right? So if I'm up between the hours of like right now it's 5 a.m, right? There are plenty of people, my husband in the other room is sound asleep, right? There are plenty of people who don't get up at 5 a.m. So let's say I'm awake from 5 to 11 every night, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., and that's the schedule my dragon understands I'm on. Then it should be more active during those hours, or at least that's the plan for this project. So it kind of can fit into our regular schedule. real life animals at least have the ability to remind us, hey, we're here. We're going to have to see how that works with Dragon Federation in the future. There are notifications and things planned, although the perpetual world has not been set up at this time. But yeah. So unlike like pet simulation games, and this is where it gets kind of funny. Technically, if you want to get super technical with me, yes, all AI in a game, like all NPC actions, are considered AI, right? So what makes Dragon Federation's virtual dragons different than, say, a pet simulation is that it's got a perpetual AI to it. So instead of it being like, oh, X input, do this animation, and then it'll just repeat that every time you do that animation. The idea is that these dragons will have an AI that grows and learns with you, which is going to give them lifelike behaviors and responses. So they actually grow and change with you. They form their own personalities based on your interactions with them or the app's inputs with them. And it's a relationship that's supposed to mirror the connection we have with real animals, from affection to responsiveness based on your engagement. Sorry, I need a drink. Thank you, excuse me. So every interaction that you have with your dragon is supposed to matter. They're supposed to respond emotionally, recognize your behaviors, and even react to the time you spend together, just like a real companion would. They can feel joy, playfulness, sadness if they're neglected. And this evolving bond is part of what makes the dragons with Dragon Federation so exciting and special. So we're living in a time of incredible technological advancements, which are super annoying sometimes, right? Because, like, some people are very nervous about AI. I used to work in a call center, had an AI chatbot take over my job. Yippee! Right? So especially in AR and AI, these technological advancements allow us to make virtual pets more immersive than ever. But you don't really see a lot of companies doing that. I always felt like pet simulations and other experiences that would work like this, they get neglected because game companies are like, who'd be interested in coming back to that? And I think a lot of that is that I haven't found a satisfying pet simulation, right? So if you're not satisfied, you don't keep returning. So I don't know. It's just my thought. So while there are still limitations, especially when it comes to tactile feedback, so like if you're in VR and you're petting your dragon, there isn't actual tactile feedback to your hands. You don't feel the animal, you don't feel its scales or its skin or its breath. And those things are unfortunate. But with VR and AR, we're pushing the boundaries of what you see and hear to try to make it incredibly realistic. So imagine a dragon that can interact with your surroundings through mixed reality, whether that's through pass-through or through AR. The goal is to have the dragon respond to objects in your room or environment around them. That was kind of cool with the demo. You could see that a little bit. Your hatchling, because the demo was your dragon's first night idea. So it would hop up on furniture and things. So pass-through is incredibly cool. AR is getting there where it's starting to be able to better understand, like, oh, this is a couch, oh, this is a bed, oh, that's a table. They're also working on always enhancing the emotional intelligence to make the dragon even more responsive to your actions and emotions, which is exciting, right? They're always working on pushing that. So when we think about pet care, we picture feeding, grooming, playing with your dog or cat or any other pet, right? And Dragon Federation incorporates a lot of those elements as virtual tasks. So you'll need to virtually feed it, you'll need to give your dragon a certain amount of attention. Right now, pre-hatching, the only real attention you can give your dragon is you can play a lullaby for it or other music or sounds. You can talk to it, heating and cooling for the incubation. Even like tapping and rubbing on the screen, you can interact with it that way. But you can't really feed it, right? So post-hatch, you'll have to feed your dragon. We know there are people who are interested in becoming like dragon veterinarians. So if there are dragon illnesses, like you would have to provide, take it to a dragon vet or a dragon healer. You'll have to provide, you'll have to clean the space, right? So your virtual dragon space, if it makes a mess, you'll have to clean it up, kind of thing. So while they don't leave real life messes, there will be virtual messes to clean up at your convenience. And part of that is because caring for something is a rewarding experience. Feeling responsible for something is incredibly rewarding. It's stressful, but it is rewarding. And so by incorporating those kind of things, they're also trying to, help you boost those mental feel goods, right? With virtual dragons, there's no physical cleanup, there's no allergies, and there's no damage. You don't have to come home and worry about, like, did my dragon burn down the kitchen? Did my dragon chew up, my furniture? That doesn't happen in real life, so all you have is virtual furniture to worry about, right? Which, at the end of the day, who cares about virtual furniture? And unlike a real pet, you're in control of the dragon's routine. So, for example, if you purchase an animal that is a nocturnal animal as an exotic pet, it's not going to be active during your daytime busyness, whereas a virtual pet can adapt to your schedule and routine. And this flexibility would allow anyone, regardless of their lifestyle, to experience the joys of pet companionship. So whether you're looking for like a quick check-in or a fully immersive experience in VR, your dragon is just a tap away. They're always there for a moment of companionship or a new adventure. They've designed the experience to be rewarding at every level of engagement, so your dragon learns, remembers, and grows based on how you interact with it, which creates a steady and comforting presence that feels truly meaningful. So some of the common questions we get is like, can I get a dragon as a pet? Which is like, absolutely. That's what Dragon Federation is all about, guys. So you can experience owning a dragon without the real world challenges, right? So yeah, dragons are real if we say, I can see it, I can hear it, which AR and VR allows us, right? Do dragons live long? Yeah, dragons have incredibly long lifespans, and with proper care, you might be able to pass down your dragon through generations. The website says that they're still doing research, but Samson has said that, like, this is something you could pass down to your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren. Dragons have centuries-long lifespans, so they will definitely outlive you. Unless you put it up against, like, let's say you go into a bear cave, in which case it will die. Any hatchling that goes into a bear cave will die. A full-grown dragon is hard to kill, so, if you don't interfere with, by putting it into incredibly dangerous situations, yes, it will live centuries long. Can I pet or hold a dragon? In our VR experience, you can actually pick up the dragon. So in VR, it's actually incredibly hard to work it so that you can hold animals, right? So it's kind of glitchy right now. But in the VR demo, you can sort of glitch it and pick it up. Eventually, the idea is that, yes, in VR, you'll be able to pick up your hatchling. And yes, you can pet it. And that's one of the most interesting experiences that brings it to life. I don't know if you noticed, but the mountain skull's nose will twitch when it's sniffing our hands, which is super cute. Can I ride a dragon? Yes. Depending on the size of the breed, right? So Dragon Federation has plans for 200 plus breeds, which if you see me in Discord, I sometimes say species and breeds. I use them interchangeably. If you want to get into the whole taxonomy situation, go speak with Dragonseer. She totally understands it. Currently, and this is me super dumbing it down, so don't take it as gospel. Currently, my basic understanding is that different body types are different species. So like, we've got the mountain skull, which has the wyvern body type, and then you have the elder dragon, which has the dragon body type. And that while the two could potentially interbreed, but they're different species, sort of like a horse versus a mule, where they're like cousin adjacent, I think is a good way to word that. But yeah, so certain breeds are rideable, right? We know the pygmies are too tiny. They're about dog size, so they're not rideable, versus like the mountain skull, which is the biggest breed, which is definitely rideable. And I'd also add the caveat that it depends on the age of your dragon, right? So like, if you have a mountain skull that's a newly hatched dragon, it's not going to be rideable, versus if it's a 3-year-old mountain skull and it's fully grown and its growth plates are all closed and it's good to go. Are dragons real? In a way. Yeah, in a way, dragons are real with Dragon Federation. This is going off of that, like, if you can see it and it's outside of your mind, then it's real. Clearly it's a virtual dragon, but the eggs and the scales are tangible, physical, real items that you can have. And then they're just brought to life through the mobile app. So I know a virtual pet cannot replace the emotional depth a real pet would have, or a real human companion, right? But for those who want a unique, portable, and interactive experience, Dragon Federation is trying to fill that niche to give you that virtual companion. And for whatever reason you choose, that's completely valid. You don't have to defend it. And it's hopefully going to be, right? Because it's not completed. Hopefully it will be the perfect blend of companionship, care, and fantasy without the traditional challenges of pet ownership. And I just want to thank you guys so much for listening to me for 20 minutes. So yeah, Dragon Federation is trying to offer a glimpse into a world where dragons feel real in a very meaningful sense. So that you can experience the joy and bond with a dragon, which who doesn't want to? Come on, it's dragons, guys. Go ahead and go to dragonfederation.com and explore the possibilities with Dragon Federation. Join our Discord. I'm an admin over there. And talk to people who've made the purchase or people who've been watching this project. This project started in 2019 and has been growing steadily ever since. Thank you so much, and we're excited to see you guys. Bye!